Dawn breaks over Arizona mesas. Dust swirls wind-sharp Geronimo. Stands atop a ridge, eyes scanning horizons, warriors tense.
They're here!
We must move.
A child peers from behind a tent. Eyes wide, breath held. The village holds quiet, aware of approaching danger. Geronimo traces enemy movement in sand. Every mark, every footprint. A clue every glance, carrying weight and anticipation. Cochise signals silently. Warriors slip into shadows, blending with rocks and shrubs, tension electric in the morning heat. A scout's shout, subtle but urgent. Arrows notch in unison, every warrior poised the desert itself, holding its breath. Dust rises from distant mesas. Enemy scouts visible. Geronimo signals strategy, every movement precise, deliberate, lethal.
We must be ready. What is it, Mother?
Arrows fly for the first time. Whispers of wind and string chaos restrained warriors moving like shadows through dust. And Geronimo stands tall on mesa edge. Horizon stretching, endless eyes fix the spirit of the Apache, resolute danger looming. Dawn paints the Arizona desert in pale gold, hot winds sweeping mesas. Geronimo stands, eyes fierce, scanning the horizon, warriors tense. Scouts slip through mesquite sand, crunching softly. They nod, signaling distant cavalry tracks, each movement precise, silent, wary. At the village center, women tend fires, preparing meals. Children mimic hunting with wooden spears, laughter mingling with focus.
We will take the path over the ridge, then down through the canyon.
Listen carefully. Remember each step.
Hold it firm, my child. This is a skill that will serve you well.
Cochise and a warrior scan from a mesa. Hands signal distant scouts. Sun casts long shadows. Dust swirling, tension heavy in the air. Scouts return, pointing toward approaching troops. Geronimo listens, calm eyes, sharp mind, already planning the village's defense.
We never forgot the courage of those who stood firm, even when all seemed lost.
On the mesa, Geronimo and the lead warrior check traps and perimeters. Movements precise, purposeful. Survival and symbolism intertwine. Children fetch water under watchful eyes. Laughter echoes with flowing river sounds, a moment of innocence amidst looming danger.
The patrols are not enough.
We need to consider our options for the village's safety.
Women gather herbs, teaching children
This one
remedies.
is good for your stomach.
Hands, gentle voices, soft knowledge rooted in generations, carried with care. Scouts return, shadows stretching long.
They're moving across
Reports
the
of distant
northern ridge.
movements. Geronimo nods, preparing strategy, weighing every choice.
We must prepare the village.
And our people, Elder.
Look closely. Focus.
Children watch morning rituals, silent, reverent. Drums and wind create rhythm, grounding the tribe in tradition and presence. Geronimo surveys paths around the village. Rocky crevices, hidden bushes. Each step a calculated measure of defense and foresight. Cochise and Geronimo inspect the village perimeter. Noting footprints, terrain changes, each detail a possible threat, a clue to act.
Each stitch, my dears, is a story, a memory of our people.
Observe the wind, the sun, and the way the sand moves.
Geronimo calls senior warriors to brief on potential ambushes.
Warriors,
Canyon
gather!
light casts long, dramatic shadows over dust and rock. Elders watch silently, communicating with glances. Experience and authority felt without a single word, a presence commanding respect. Women prepare provisions for tomorrow. Each bundle, each step teaching children skills crucial for survival, tradition, and endurance. Scouts report enemy signs. Geronimo notes every footprint, every sound. Mind mapping threats and opportunities in tense silence. Warriors train with bows and arrows. Movements, fluid eyes alert. Practice blending precision, patience, and readiness for sudden danger.
It is a story of our resilience and the courage of our ancestors.
Geronimo and Cochise watch from a high mesa, planning night patrols, assessing risks, anticipating dangers hidden in shadows. Women check armor, adjust garments. Each warrior prepared every detail, ensuring safety, strength, and resilience in uncertain times. Children simulate ambushes, practicing hiding and swift reactions, learning vigilant strategy and instinct through play and guidance. Geronimo marks key points on the sand map, planning the next patrol, each line a balance of safety, strategy, and survival. Evening settles over the village. Sunset paints mesas and canyons, a quiet moment of reflection. Vigilance remains beneath calm. Geronimo stands silently on the mesa horizon ahead, aware of his duty, the weight of leadership, and the enduring spirit of the Apache. Scouts return at dawn, dust swirling. Reports of distant cavalry, their silhouettes faint on mesa edges. Tension tightens across the village. Geronimo gathers senior warriors, tracing movements in sand.
I hear them.
Every mark hints at possible ambush, every glance charged with caution. Children peek from behind tents, curiosity tempered by fear. Elders whisper reminders of vigilance, tradition, and survival. Cochise surveys the horizon, hand-shading eyes. Smoke from distant fires suggests encroachment signs of strangers. Women carry water and provisions hurriedly. Conversations, hushed eyes, flicking to high mesas, preparing for uncertainty. A scout signals from afar. Small movements in the brush. Geronimo's gaze sharpens, calculating risks, readying response. Warriors quietly check weapons, arrows, and bows aligned. Anticipation ripples through the village like a low wind. Children mimic stealth, learning to move unseen. Laughter, subdued training for moments they do not yet fully understand. Geronimo walks along the mesa edge. Wind gusts carry distant sounds, every rustle a potential clue, every shadow a warning.
I see distant movement.
Understood. What's our next move?
Elder recounts past raids, their lessons etched into memory. Warriors nod, absorbing history to guide imminent action. A distant horse's snort breaks the stillness. Scouts tense, signaling rapidly. The village holds its collective breath. Women secure children in tents, whispering safety plans. Every gesture deliberate, a choreography of survival instinct. Geronimo consults Cochise. Paths of approach, debated contingency measures rehearsed. Strategy unfolding in the dust. Scouts report tracks leading into a narrow arroyo. Potential trap. Geronimo's eyes narrow, weighing attack versus defense. Children watch elders tying snares along village edges, understanding that every line, every knot could save lives. Warriors reposition silently, eyes scanning every mesa, every canyon. Wind and shadow become allies in observation. Geronimo kneels over sand map, traces enemy routes, marking danger points. Every mark a life preserved or lost. A faint drumbeat echoes from the village circle. Ritual blended with warning attention, focused hearts synchronized. Scouts whisper news of another distant patrol. Signs of advance, but patterns unclear. Uncertainty sharpens awareness.
Remember, vigilance and resourcefulness keep our community strong. We share what we have.
Geronimo reviews all Scouts' reports, cross-referencing, connecting dots. The first pieces of a larger conflict emerge. A child trips near a tent. Elders' hands steady guidance, quiet but firm. teaching vigilance through gentle correction. Warriors test bows, arrows glinting. Each practice shot precise, rehearsed in anticipation of unknown engagement. Scouts observe horse hoofprints near canyon rim. Signs of advanced size and direction noted tension coiling in the air. Women gather herbs silently ready for injuries. Ritual and practicality intertwined. Preparation for looming chaos. Geronimo moves between scouts, questioning, listening. Every detail matters, every sound noted, every shadow considered. Children practice quiet communication signals passed, learning to alert without revealing position, lessons of stealth and awareness. Cochise signals back from high mesa, confirming patterns suggesting probable enemy encampment. Strategy taking shape. Scouts report distant smoke rising unevenly. Possible campfires, possible trap. Decisions must be swift, deliberate. Geronimo calls a brief council. Maps, tracks, sketches spread on sand. The village's fate balanced on careful observation. Warriors patrol perimeter, shadows stretching long. Alert eyes catch every movement, every rustle. Tension electric. Evening approaches. The desert glows crimson. Scouts return with
We
final
must
reports,
always be
preparing to
ready.
relay to the entire village. Geronimo stands atop the mesa. Wind carrying distant sounds, dust swirling. The first signals of conflict pulse through the land. Dawn breaks desert light sharp. Scouts report enemy patrols advancing, dust clouds rising, tension ripples through warriors' ranks. Geronimo signals quietly, warriors disperse into mesquite and rocky outcrops. Silent readiness, every movement deliberate, eyes alert. Women and children retreat behind protective walls. Whispers of prayers mix with ritual chants, grounding courage amid fear. Scouts observe enemy patterns marking paths in sand. Every hoofbeat, every shadow becomes a vital clue for survival. Cochise climbs the mesa, surveys terrain, calculates vantage points. Anticipation electrifies the thin morning air. Warriors prepare traps along narrow passes. Spikes, hidden snares tied. Patience and precision blended in survival art.
We need to move quickly before they spot our position.
Well,
Agreed. The ridge offers the best cover.
Geronimo reviews maps with elders, connecting past raids to current threat. Strategy born from experience and instinct. Children watch elders learning to move quietly. Play and training merge, awareness sharpening under careful eyes. Enemy scouts spotted on ridge. Warriors duck into cover, arrows readied, silent determination in every glance. Women distribute provisions, water and herbs. Every action deliberate, preparing for both endurance and defense.
Every task requires precision.
Cochise signals back from mesa. Nods confirming enemy advance. Strategy taking precise shape under tense sunlight. A child
Geronimo,
mimics warrior
they are
stance,
here. 3 of them.
learning alertness, patience, and silent communication through observation and practice. Dust rises as enemy cavalry moves along distant mesa. Scouts whisper warnings. Geronimo notes every ripple in the desert. Traps set along arroyo. Warriors hide in shadows, breath-controlled muscles coiled. Suspense crackles in the dry air. Geronimo confers with elders. Past victories and losses inform each tactical choice. Wisdom guiding decisive action. Scouts report enemy campfires flickering. Possible encampment, possible trap. Tension coils like a spring across the village. Women tend children in silence. Faces calm, but eyes alert. Every gesture measured, every sound interpreted as a signal. Warriors silently move along mesa edges, checking perimeters, adjusting arrows, reading wind shadows and light. Geronimo observes distant smoke, analyzing patterns, estimating strength, predicting movements, every decision critical. Children practice signaling quietly. Hands, head tilts, gestures subtle but effective. Lessons of stealth and survival. Cochise adjusts scouts' positions, ensuring
Keep
coverage
your eyes
across
open.
mesas and
Watch your
canyons.
surroundings.
Vigilance stretched across the terrain. Enemy cavalry closes in. Scouts signal instantly, arrows notch. The village holds collective breath, every eye on the horizon. Geronimo maps potential ambush points in sand. Every mark a prediction, every plan a possible lifeline or loss. Dust devils spin across mesas. Warriors blend with shadows, silent as wind poised for sudden action at a signal. Women secure tents and firewood. Children mimicking their movements, learning routines essential for endurance and protection. Scouts return with reports of enemy movement. Geronimo integrates information, adjusting tactics on the fly. Elder recounts stories of previous defenses. Courage, cunning, and tragedy woven into lessons applied today. Enemy cavalry appears on ridge, distant but discernible. Warriors tense, arrows steady, every heartbeat synchronized. Children watch silently, absorbing lessons of bravery and caution. Their eyes wide, learning responsibility through presence. Geronimo signals a reposition. Warriors slip into prepared positions, wind and terrain aiding stealth and advantage. Scouts relay observations, connecting points across the canyon. The village forms a coherent defense net. Women tend herbs, water, and supplies. Readiness combined with ritual grounding community amidst impending confrontation. Dust and shadows obscure enemy movement. Tension rises. Warriors' patient, stretched focus razor sharp. Geronimo communicates with Cochise via hand signs. Plans shift fluidly, adapting to the desert's unpredictability. Traps, baited snares checked. Warriors slip between rocks and shrubs. Silence punctuated only by wind and distant hoofbeats. Enemy advances along narrow paths. Scouts whisper warnings. Villagers hold position, tension crackling like dry tinder. Geronimo signals archers. Arrows ready, breath steady. A moment of suspended anticipation before action.
Remember to stay low and listen carefully.
Warriors' poised eyes scanning. Every dune, every crevice scrutinized. Desert itself becomes a participant in strategy. Sunset approaches. Dust settles, enemy remains visible yet distant. The village holds its breath, ready for the inevitable clash. Dawn breaks with a fiery glow. Geronimo surveys the canyon, arrows, ready warriors poised, tension crackling like desert lightning. Enemy scouts visible on distant mesa. Scouts signal swiftly, hand gestures, sharp anticipation tightening across the village.
Stay vigilant. We must protect our people.
Women and children secure shelters. Silent prayers echo with rhythm of drums, grounding courage before chaos erupts. Dust rises as enemy cavalry approaches. Warriors wait, poised, blending with rocks and shrubs, anticipation heavy in the air. Scouts relay enemy movement. Timing coordinated with precision, every gesture and glance part of a larger strategy. Warriors spread along mesa edges. Wind and light aid stealth, shadows merging with anticipation and discipline. Enemy troops advance into narrow paths. Dust clouds obscure some, revealing others. Every movement crucial, every decision sharp.
Watch closely now.
Yes, like this.
Scouts dart between cover, observing enemy reaction. Each whispered report feeding adjustments in real time. Children watch from behind tents, wide-eyed, absorbing lessons of courage, vigilance, and survival in the desert heat. Women guide others quietly, tending small injuries, readying water and herbs. Ritual blended with urgency. Enemy attempts flanking maneuver. Geronimo anticipates repositioning warriors, blending knowledge of terrain with instinct. Dust and wind obscure vision. Arrows and arrows whistles through the air. Tension peaking, time seeming suspended. Cochise signals silently. Warriors adjust formation, reinforcing key positions, every move rehearsed and precise. Geronimo moves along Mesa, checking warriors. Brief nods, gestures, morale and coordination maintained under pressure. Enemy cavalry falters, confused by snipers and traps. Desert terrain amplifying defensive advantage. Every moment critical. Traps trigger. Horses stumble, chaos erupts. Warriors capitalize pressing advantage while maintaining discipline. Scouts relay enemy retreat or repositioning. Geronimo recalculates tactics, refining defense, seizing opportunity. Women ensure children remain unseen. Whispers and gestures keep them calm, lessons of stealth and survival in motion. Arrows rain from elevated positions. Dust, sun, and shadows combine to conceal warriors' movements from enemy eyes. Geronimo signals attack on weak flank. Coordinated response executed flawlessly. Enemy reaction measured, disoriented.
They are moving in from the north.
I see. We will prepare for them.
Enemy horses rear, dust and debris flying. Arrows and javelins controlling key pathways. Desert echoing chaos. Scouts report enemy reinforcements. Geronimo quickly adjusts formation, distributing warriors to anticipate movement. Children glimpse warriors moving, awe and fear in eyes. Lessons of courage and vigilance imprinted in real time. Traps continue to claim enemy supplies. Tension palpable, desert landscape itself, part of strategy shaping outcomes. Geronimo signals archers again. Volleys timed to disruption, each arrow deliberate, echoing through canyon walls. Warriors coordinate silently. Nods, hand gestures. A choreography of survival and resistance, honed over decades. Enemy attempts breakthrough. Geronimo anticipates repositioning key defenders, maintaining high ground and advance.
Come this way, children.
Women assist wounded quietly. Herbs and bandages applied efficiently. Rituals of care reinforcing community cohesion. Scouts report enemy confusion. Defensive lines holding villagers' discipline and knowledge tipping balance. Geronimo signals final trap activation. Snares pitfalls, coordinated volleys. Decisive moment approaching tension peaks. Warriors move in unison. Arrows, spears, strategy converging. Desert landscape alive with action, precision, and suspense. Enemy falters, retreats. Dust clouds obscure vision, desert wind carrying the cries and chaos of confrontation. Village exhales. Tension dissipates slowly. Dust settling, warriors regroup, families safe. Survival and strategy validated. Sunset bathes mesas in gold and crimson. Geronimo surveys terrain, reflective, aware of the cost, pride, and enduring Apache spirit. Dawn breaks over the desert. Dust still hanging in the air. Geronimo walks among warriors, assessing the toll, quiet reflection in his eye. Survivors gather scattered supplies. Warriors check weapons, arrows, spent armor scuffed. Each breath heavy, yet relief tempered with vigilance. Women move carefully among children, tending minor scrapes, offering water and comfort. Quiet murmurs, soothing nerves frayed by the night. Scouts report enemy retreat. Geronimo notes positions, evaluating strength lost and lessons learned, mind already planning next steps. Fires burn low in village centers, smoke curling upward. Elders quietly discuss what the skirmish has revealed about enemy tactics. Geronimo kneels beside a young scout, offering praise and guidance, emphasizing skill, patience, and awareness gained through experience. Dust settles on mesas. Warriors gather to recount sightings and movements. Every story a lesson for future vigilance and planning. Women and elders hold brief council. Decisions about rebuilding tending crops and securing water sources. Pragmatic action woven with ritual. Scouts observe distant ridges. Signs of enemy remnants, tracks fading into desert. Geronimo weighs pursuit versus preservation. Children carry small loads of water and firewood. Learning responsibility, every task infused with practical lessons and tribal values. Warriors sharpen arrows, bows strung ready. Silent gestures communicating readiness, unity, and enduring resilience. Geronimo oversees repaired traps and fortifications, minor adjustments ensuring protection, blending instinct with experience. Elders recount lessons aloud. Courage, vigilance, and community cohesion highlighted. Stories passed to young warriors. Women prepare meals for those who fought through the night. Nutrition and ritual combined, reinforcing life in community. Dust swirls across mesa edges. Scouts glance toward distant canyons. Vigilance remains even in moments of relief. Geronimo inspects village perimeter, evaluating damage, adjusting defensive plans. Responsibility weighing heavily, yet with warriors share quiet words of reassurance. Camaraderie, strengthening bonds, mutual respect deepened by survival. Elder signals for a small ceremonial gathering. Gratitude, reflection, and remembrance intertwined with practical recovery. Scouts report faint signs of enemy returning. Geronimo nods, emphasizing preparedness without panic. Lessons of patience reinforced. Children assist women gathering firewood. Hands learning skill, bodies attuned to rhythm of desert survival. Warriors sit in small groups, sharpening knives, repairing armor. Reflection and quiet discussion, bridging strategy and memory. Geronimo surveys the horizon, contemplating losses, gains, and the enduring spirit of his people. Pride and vigilance entwined. Dust settles around campfires. Smoke twisting skyward, carrying silent prayers and stories of bravery through the desert. Women coordinate rebuilding efforts. Tents, repaired supplies, reorganized. Each movement deliberate, practical, infused with care. Children watch, learning resilience and responsibility. Quiet observation, imprinting courage and awareness in every small action. Sunset bathes the village in gold and crimson. Geronimo stands atop mesa, silent. The aftermath, measured lessons, absorbed community, enduring. Dawn breaks quietly over the mesas. Geronimo surveys the village wind, carrying the scent of dust and lingering smoke. Reflection deep. Women and children gather near fires, weaving stories of courage and bravery and endurance into the fabric of... Geronimo kneels beside the youngest warrior, sharing wisdom, passing down the ethos of patience, honor, and duty. Dust settles across mesas. Echoes of the clash linger faintly, imprinting lessons of survival, courage, and resilience. Children mimic gestures of warriors, bowing, crouching, moving silently. Each action a lesson in observation and presence.
The dust is fading. Night is near.
We must be ready then.
Warriors clean and repair weapons. Silent camaraderie, stories exchanged in glances, shared experience deepening bonds. Women tend small gardens and fires, tending life as ritual, embedding lessons of care, continuity, and tradition. Scouts report distant movements, always alert, aware. Lessons of vigilance passed from elder to youth. Children practice quiet communication, signals and gestures, learning stealth, patience, and attention to detail. Geronimo reflects atop the highest mesa, horizons stretching endlessly. Thoughts on legacy, protection, and endurance. Elders share teachings around campfires. Bravery, responsibility, and memory woven together in warmth and smoke. Women weave stories and textiles, each thread carrying tradition, history, and the spirit of their people. Warriors exchange nods. Silent affirmation of trust, skill, and shared experience binding the community tightly. Scouts mark paths and terrain, ensuring future patrols honor knowledge gained, blending instinct with observation. Children carry water in small loads. Hands learning responsibility, steps instilling respect for the land. Geronimo consults with Cochise, reflecting on choices, victories, and lessons for coming challenges. Dust rises lightly in the breeze. The echoes of battle faded, replaced by rhythm of daily survival and vigilance. Elders guide ceremonies of gratitude, Songs, chants, and silent moments honoring ancestors and fallen warriors. Warriors repair clothing and armor, ensuring readiness, blending practicality with respect for tools and tradition. Children observe rituals, absorbing patterns of disciplined courage and communal responsibility silently. Geronimo traces roots of enemy movement, mapping knowledge for future defense, preserving wisdom in sand and mind. Women gather herbs and supplies, hands steady, eyes aware. Life and tradition interwoven in daily practice. Scouts practice observation. Shadows, wind dust. Vigilance becomes habit awareness, part of identity. Evening falls, the desert glows crimson. Reflections of sun mirrored in eyes of warriors and elders alike. Geronimo surveys village and mesa. Sense of duty, pride, an enduring Apache spirit solidifying in silence. Children gather near fires. Stories of bravery, patience, and endurance echoing, forming roots of legacy. Night settles over the desert. Geronimo stands atop mesa, silent wind carrying dust and memory. The spirit of the Apache enduring lessons eternal.